Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into the kitchen and stood there puzzled, trying to remember why you came in? Or maybe you've struggled to recall a familiar name during a family gathering, even though that person is practically family. If that sounds familiar, take a deep breath and let this comfort you. You are not alone. And more importantly, you are not helpless. Welcome to PureVibe Health. I'm Dr. Michael Harrison, and today I want to speak to your heart, not just your mind. There's a story we've been told for years, that forgetfulness, that occasional mental fog, is just something we have to accept after turning 60. It's normal, they say. It's just part of aging. But here's the truth, my friends. That story is only half true. Yes, our brains do change with age, but what many don't realize is most memory decline isn't caused by aging alone. It's caused by how we live each day, the food we eat, the way we sleep, how often we challenge our minds or connect with others. These small daily patterns are powerful. They shape the clarity of our memory more than we think. Did you know that over 70% of seniors feel their memory isn't as sharp as it used to be? But what if I told you, you don't need pills or expensive treatments to protect your mind? What if the solution is much simpler and already in your hands? That's exactly what today's video is about. I'm going to share 5 gentle science-backed habits that can help you stay mentally sharp, emotionally confident, and joyfully engaged in life, no matter your age. So grab a warm cup of haldi, settle into your chair, and let's begin this journey toward a clearer, more vibrant mind together. Now let's talk about what memory loss really means, beyond just forgetting a name or misplacing your glasses. Because when your mind feels cloudy or slow, it's not just inconvenient, it touches every part of life. Think about this. When you start second-guessing yourself about simple tasks, like counting cash at the market or remembering if you locked the door, it quietly chips away at your confidence. You begin to hesitate. You start saying things like, "I'll let someone else handle it." And with that, a little piece of independence slips away. Many of my patients tell me the same thing, again and again. They feel like a burden. They pull back from conversations, afraid they'll forget a detail. They stop doing the things they love, not because they've lost interest, but because they fear embarrassment. Let me share a quick story. There's a lovely woman named Mrs. Priya, a retired teacher from Pune. She used to look forward to her weekly book club. It gave her so much joy, discussing poetry, sipping chai, laughing with her friends. But a few months ago, she quietly stopped going. Why? Because she felt ashamed that she couldn't remember the plot of the last book. She told me, "What if they think I'm not sharp anymore?" And just like that, something beautiful in her life faded. This is what memory challenges do. They don't just affect the brain, they affect the heart. They shrink our world. They isolate us. They make us question our worth. But here's the most important thing I want you to remember today. It doesn't have to stay that way. Your mind is still capable of growth, still capable of strength. And with the right habits, we can stop this decline and even begin to reverse it. In the next part of this video, I'll show you exactly how. Now, if anything I've said so far feels familiar to you, please don't lose heart, because here's the part we don't hear enough. Memory decline is not your destiny. Forgetfulness isn't a sign that your best days are behind you. More often than not, it's simply your brain sending a signal, asking for better care, not for medical treatment. And that's the beautiful news. Most of the mental fog, the forgetfulness, even that feeling of "I'm slowing down," it doesn't come from serious illness. It comes from everyday patterns. Tiny things we do or don't do without even realizing they're affecting our brain. So, what's the solution? It doesn't lie in expensive pills or hospital visits. It lies in your daily rhythm, in your plate, your sleep, your conversations, your morning walks. You don't need to become a different person. You just need to make a few simple, intentional changes. In fact, I've helped hundreds of seniors rebuild their mental clarity. And it didn't start with a prescription. It started with small steps, thoughtful habits, gentle shifts that fit beautifully into a typical Indian day. That's why, in just a moment, I'll walk you through 5 daily habits that support a sharper mind. Naturally. No crash diets, no complicated routines, no fancy supplements, just real-life solutions you can begin today, whether you're 60, 70, or even 85. These aren't just memory tips. They are acts of self-respect. They're reminders that your brain still matters, your thoughts still matter, and you still matter. So if you've been feeling a little forgetful, or if you've been worried about losing your edge, I want you to know there's a way back, and it starts right now. The 5 habits and their solutions. Habit 1, living with a passive mind. The problem, the mind that coasts begins to fade. Let's be honest. Many of us fall into mental routines without even realizing it. Wake up, sip our chai, watch the news, do a few chores, maybe scroll a little. And before we know it, the day has passed, but our brain has barely been on. This kind of passive rhythm may feel comfortable, but it slowly puts the mind into idle mode, and the brain is like a garden. If we stop planting and tending, the weeds of forgetfulness begin to grow. Here's the truth. The human brain, whether at 60, 70, or even 80, still craves challenge. Not stress, not pressure, but gentle stimulation. The kind that keeps your neurons firing and your confidence alive. Because when we don't give our minds new things to explore, they begin to power down. And that's when the forgetfulness, the hesitation, and those blank moments start to creep in. The solution: activate curiosity in small, joyful ways. The good news? You don't need to enroll in a course or learn Sanskrit overnight. To reawaken your brain, all it takes is 15 minutes a day of conscious, curious engagement. Let your mind play again. Here are simple ways to break the cycle of passive thinking. Do a puzzle, crossword, Sudoku, or even a children's word game. Just get the gears turning. Learn something new, one unfamiliar word in English, or a new shloka from the Gita. Read something different, not just news or WhatsApp messages. Try an article on nature, health, or culture. Ask more questions. Why does turmeric help the brain? Why do birds migrate? Let your brain chase answers again. Change your routine. Brush your teeth with the other hand. Rearrange a shelf. Take a new walking route. Tiny shifts like these create fresh neural pathways. It's not about doing more. It's about doing differently. Just a little each day. The benefits: a mind that stays awake, a heart that feels alive. When you challenge your brain gently and consistently, something amazing begins to happen. You start to notice fewer mental blanks when speaking or making decisions, greater sharpness in daily tasks, like budgeting, remembering appointments, a quiet sense of confidence returning. You feel like you again, and perhaps most precious of all, joy in learning just for the sake of it. Because here's the thing, mental decline is not a sudden switch. It's a slow fade. But so is mental growth, a gentle return of brightness, clarity, and pride in your thinking. You have every right to feel mentally awake, and it starts with just a few minutes of meaningful curiosity each day. So let your brain stretch, let it wander, let it grow. You're not done learning, you're just getting started. Again. Habit 2, ignoring brain nutrition. The problem? A starving mind and a full stomach. Let's talk about something most people don't realize. Just because we're eating 3 meals a day doesn't mean our brain is being fed. We often focus on filling the stomach, roti, chai, maybe a light snack, but forget what the brain actually needs to stay alert, balanced, and sharp. Your brain is the most energy-hungry organ in your body. Even when you're resting, it uses more energy than any other part of you. But when it doesn't get the right nutrients, it simply can't perform at full strength. And the result? Mental fog, slower recall, feeling tired even after eating, and those tip-of-the-tongue moments that seem to happen more and more often. Here's the real issue. Many seniors, especially in India, are unknowingly eating what we can call a low-brain diet, high in starch and sugar, low in healthy fats, and missing the protective antioxidants our brains truly need. And over time, this gap doesn't just slow memory, it weakens your entire mind-body connection. The solution: Fuel your brain with natural, local superfoods. You don't need imported supplements. You don't need expensive powders. What you do need is to reconnect with the traditional, powerful Indian foods that have supported strong minds for generations. Here's a simple list: easy to find, affordable, and incredibly effective. Walnuts, akhrout. Their shape even looks like a brain. Just 3 to 4 per day provide omega-3s to help your neurons communicate better. Tip: soak them overnight for easier digestion. Turmeric, haldi. Just a pinch in warm milk or in your dal helps reduce inflammation in the brain, one of the silent causes of memory loss. Bonus: add a crack of black pepper. It boosts absorption. Leafy greens, saag, palak, methi. These are full of folate and vitamin K. They help slow brain aging. Aim for 3 to 4 servings per week, not just on Sundays. Coconut and coconut oil, a clean energy source for the brain. Try cooking sabzi in a spoon of coconut oil once or twice a week. Amla, Indian gooseberry, a powerhouse of vitamin C and antioxidants. Eat it raw as chutney or in chayawan-prash. It protects your brain from oxidative stress. Sweet potatoes and beets, natural glucose, plus antioxidants, nurtures stable brain energy. Steam, roast, or mash into your regular meals. You don't need to eat all of these at once. Just start by adding 1 or 2 each day. And notice how your clarity, energy, and focus begin to return. The benefits: a brain that feels nourished, not numb. When your brain is well fed, your mind becomes clearer, your moods feel balanced, and your energy stays steady throughout the day. You'll likely notice sharper recall. You remember names and dates without searching. More mental stamina, longer attention, less fatigue, fewer fog moments where your thoughts feel slow or scattered, and most importantly, a gentle but powerful sense of calm focus, like your brain has finally woken up. Food is medicine, but only if you choose the right ingredients. And the best part? You already know many of these foods. They've just been waiting for your attention. So next time you're preparing your thali, ask yourself, what am I feeding my brain today? Because a strong memory doesn't start in your head, it starts in your kitchen. Habit 3, slipping into social isolation. The problem: when the silence grows too loud. Let's speak honestly. As we grow older, life tends to quiet down. Children move out, friends relocate, invitations slow, the phone rings, less and less. And before we even realize it, we begin spending long stretches of the day in silence. Not peaceful, refreshing silence, but the kind that starts to feel heavy. It begins subtly. Maybe you stop going to the temple group because you missed a few weeks, or you hesitate to call an old friend thinking, they must be busy. And over time, that silence becomes more than quiet. It becomes isolation. And it doesn't just affect your mood. It begins to shrink your brain's social circuits, which are directly tied to memory and cognition. In fact, science now shows that loneliness is as harmful to the brain as smoking or high blood pressure. Why? Because the brain thrives on interaction, on storytelling, on laughter, even simple everyday conversations. Without it, the brain begins to dim, neural pathways dull, and memory starts to slip. The solution: rebuild simple, joyful connections. The antidote to isolation: it isn't complicated. You don't need a big social life or a calendar full of events. You just need small, meaningful touches of connection each day, enough to remind your brain that it still belongs, that it still matters. Here are a few simple ways to reconnect. 1 intentional phone call per day. Call a relative, a childhood friend, even someone you haven't spoken to in years, not to catch up, but just to share a moment. Join or rejoin a small group, a walking club, a bhajan group, a satsang or yoga class in the park. Even once a week helps rebuild that sense of belonging. Create a chai ritual. Invite a neighbor for chai once a week, or ask a grandchild to join you for stories. Even just 15 minutes. Be the one who initiates. Don't wait to be invited. Offer to help with a birthday, a prayer meet, or even a Sunday lunch. Be present in conversations. Look into their eyes. Listen deeply. Respond with curiosity. These simple acts strengthen the brain circuits that support memory and focus. This isn't about quantity, it's about quality. It's about being seen, being heard, being felt. And when that happens, your memory responds. The benefits: a brain that lights up with every hello. When you start reconnecting, even in the smallest ways, you'll begin to notice. Sharper memory. You recall names and stories more easily. Greater confidence in conversations. Less hesitation, more ease, better mood and energy, thanks to brain chemicals triggered by connection, and above all, a renewed sense of being alive, not just existing. Because here's the quiet truth. Our brains aren't just wired for survival, they're wired for belonging. And the moment you reach out, even with something as simple as a warm namaste or a short phone call, your brain begins to bloom again. You don't need to be surrounded by people. You just need to stay connected to others and to yourself. Habit 4, poor sleep quality. The problem: restless nights, foggy mornings. Let me ask you something, gently. When was the last time you woke up feeling truly rested? Not just awake, but clear-headed, light, energized. If it's been a while, you are not alone. For many seniors, sleep becomes a frustrating mystery after 60. You go to bed on time, but still, you wake up multiple times at night. You struggle to fall back asleep. You feel tired even after 7 or 8 hours in bed. And in the morning, your thoughts feel foggy, heavy, or slow. Sound familiar? Here's why it matters. Sleep is not just rest, it's restoration. During deep sleep, your brain is hard at work, organizing memories, clearing toxins, resetting hormones, sharpening focus for the day ahead. But without enough deep, uninterrupted rest, your mind slows down, like a machine that never fully powers off. And here's the kicker. Even one bad night can affect your memory the next day. Now imagine what weeks or months of poor sleep might do. The solution: create a ritual that teaches your brain to rest again. You don't need sleeping pills. You don't need fancy equipment. What you do need is rhythm, a nightly invitation for your brain to let go. Here's how to begin retraining your brain. Gently, naturally. Stick to a consistent bedtime. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Yes, even on weekends. This resets your internal clock. Dim the lights after sunset. Bright tube lights confuse your brain. Instead, use warm lamps or diyas after 7:30 p.m. This encourages melatonin, the sleep hormone, to rise. Limit screens and scrolling. Avoid mobile phones, news, or emotional content an hour before bed. Try soft bhajans, calming mantras, or reading a few pages from a spiritual book. Keep dinner light and early. Heavy meals at 9 p.m.? No thanks. Try to finish dinner by 7:30. Choose something like khichdi, warm soup, or lightly spiced sabzi. Create a wind-down ritual. Soak your feet in warm salted water. Light a gentle incense. Massage your feet with coconut oil. These are simple signals telling your body it's time to rest. Manage nighttime urination, nocturia. Don't drink too much liquid after 7 p.m. And if frequent bathroom visits are keeping you up, please check out our video on how to reduce nocturia naturally. It's one of the top causes of sleep trouble in older adults. You don't have to do everything at once. Just start with 2 or 3 calming steps tonight. Repeat them tomorrow. Let your body relearn how to rest. The benefits: when your brain finally gets the sleep it's been asking for. Once you begin sleeping better, everything begins to shift. You'll likely notice improved memory, fewer blanks, smoother recall, brighter mood, less irritability, more ease, sharper decisions. You think clearly and speak with confidence. Emotional calm, less mental chatter, more inner peace. And maybe best of all, waking up feeling centered instead of just awake. Because here's the truth: sleep is not a luxury. It's your brain's reset button. And you deserve to press that button every single night. So next time you're wide awake at 3 a.m., don't blame your age. Blame your patterns, and then gently, lovingly, begin to change them. Because peaceful sleep isn't gone, it's still there, waiting for you to come back home to it. Habit 5, a sedentary lifestyle. The problem, when the body stops moving, the mind slows too. Let's pause and reflect on something simple. When was the last time you moved your body? Not out of duty, but with joy. Because here's what often happens after 60. Life slows down. We retire. Responsibilities ease. Mornings become quieter. And slowly, almost without noticing, we stop moving. A few hours on the sofa turns into most of the day. Walks that once felt natural start to feel like effort. And before we know it, sitting becomes our default mode. But here's the deeper truth. The brain and the body are partners. When your body stays still for too long, your blood flow slows down, including to the brain. That means less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and over time, a mind that feels foggy, tired, and disconnected. Studies now show a sedentary lifestyle is one of the leading causes of memory decline in older adults. But the good news is just as powerful. Movement is one of the simplest, most joyful, and most natural medicines available. The solution: bring back gentle, regular movement into your day. You don't need a gym. You don't need to run a marathon. You just need to move, consciously, consistently, and kindly. Here's how to begin. Take a 20-minute morning walk. Walk around your neighborhood, on the terrace, in your garden. Let your feet reconnect with the earth. Let the sun kiss your skin. Let your breath deepen. Play music and stretch. Turn on soft bhajans or a favorite old song. Move your arms. Roll your shoulders. Sway a little. Let the rhythm guide you, gently. Try chair-based movement. If joint pain holds you back, no problem. Sit on a sturdy chair. Tap your feet. Raise your arms. Rotate your ankles. This still counts. This still heals. Turn chores into movement medicine. Water your plants. Sweep slowly with awareness. Hang clothes out to dry. These everyday tasks can nourish your body when done with care. Walk with someone you love, a neighbor, a spouse, your grandchild. Walking together brings accountability, but more than that, it brings connection. You don't need perfection, you just need momentum. Start with 5 minutes, then let your body guide you forward. The benefits: a mind that moves with the body. When you bring movement back into your rhythm, your whole being begins to respond. You may notice sharper thinking and better recall. Oxygen-rich blood gives your brain the fuel it craves. More energy and motivation. Movement wakes up your entire nervous system. Deeper sleep at night. A tired body rests more fully. Improved mood and less anxiety. Your body starts releasing natural, feel-good chemicals. And over time, greater balance, confidence, and independence. Because movement isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and even spiritual. It reminds you, you are alive, you are capable, and your story is still being written. So don't wait for the perfect routine. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for motivation. Just put on your slippers, step outside, breathe, move, not to become someone else, but to gently, lovingly return to yourself. Bonus thought. These 5 habits, they're not chores. They're acts of care for your brain, for your independence, for your joy. No matter where you're starting from, you can begin today, right now, with just one small shift. Let's take a quiet moment and breathe this in together. What we've talked about today, it isn't complicated science. It's not a strict program, and it's certainly not about trying to reverse time. It's about reclaiming clarity, rebuilding confidence, and restoring that feeling of being mentally present and emotionally alive day by day. So here's a quick recap of the 5 gentle habits that can help you sharpen your memory after 60. Wake up your mind with just 15 minutes of daily brain play. Feed your brain with simple, natural, nourishing foods. Reconnect with others. A phone call, a walk, or even a shared smile. Protect your sleep because deep rest restores mental power. Move your body to bring more oxygen and life into your brain. Now, you don't need to change everything overnight. Just choose one habit. Start small, start kind, and trust that even the smallest action, done with consistency, can create beautiful shifts over time. Because here's what I believe, with all my heart. You are not past your prime. You are in a season of wisdom, and with a little attention, your memory can become not a source of frustration, but a source of pride. These habits don't require fancy tools or big money. They just require you choosing to show up for yourself a little more each day. So as you move forward, remember, you are not alone. Your brain is still capable of growth, and your golden years are meant for thriving, not just surviving. Let's keep walking this path together with simplicity, dignity, and joy. Now, before you go, I'd truly love to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits spoke to your heart the most? Is there one small change you feel ready to try, starting today? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. I personally read every single message, and they genuinely mean a lot to me. Your story might just inspire someone else who's taking their very first step. And if this video brought you even a moment of clarity, comfort, or just a small spark of hope, then I warmly invite you to join us at PureVibe Health. Tap that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you never miss a new episode, and please share this video with a friend, a parent, or an elder who deserves to feel mentally strong and confident again. At PureVibe Health, we're building something special, a community that believes aging is not decline, but a new chapter of wisdom, joy, and freedom. So let's walk this path together. And until next time, stay well, stay curious, and remember, your mind is not fading, it's just waiting to be nourished.